What's going on? It's your boy Cuban Mic. You listen to 102.9 Take Deck. And tonight I got a guest here in the building. This MC here, he's been giving me a plethora of just dope material. He's not from Massachusetts. We're going far right here. We're going to go to the Midwest for a second right here, man. This dude, he got some incredible bars. Dope MC coming straight from Indiana, correct?
Yeah.
Indiana. So there's a lot of questions I want to know about Indiana. So you're gonna be the man of the hour to tell me about the hip hop scenes like out there, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I got Mrkbh in the building. I got it right, Mrkbh?
Mrkbh, yeah.
Mrkbh, yeah. What's going on, partner?
Man, just maintaining.
So, okay, so I'm gonna say this because I'm from Massachusetts, and to tell the truth, I know nothing about Indiana except for the Jacksons, Freddie Gibbs, and the Pacers.
Yeah.
What's like the hip hop scene out there? Well, before I get that, tell me a little about yourself.
I mean, what would you like to know?
I mean, when you first started MCing, what got you like, pretty much, it seemed like you're a busy man for the things you be sending me out here, man. So
Yeah.
got you into like getting to this to the hip hop thing.
Well, me, I'm from the way back era. Back in like the mid '80s is when I first like got a whiff of hip hop, and it was like my father had bought me a piece of vinyl. It was called Electric Breakdance, and it was like a compilation. It had Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five on there. It had Run DMC. It had a joint called Jam on it by Nucleus, a group called Nucleus.
Yeah.
And that's when I and then there was a movie that came on. It was like a made-for-TV movie called The Pilot. It was about a young female student that would disguise herself in a flight uniform, like a pilot's outfit, and breakdance like she was a superhero. Nobody knew who she was. Yeah. So those two things, because I was involved in all the elements over the years since a young age. I used to do graffiti. I used to try to break dance. And the thing that basically that I was really good at more so than everything else was the rapping part.
Okay. All right. So what age you started spitting then?
I can remember back as far as like being in second grade. I was actually wasn't really rapping. I was just, we used to like do something called cracking on each other. Some people say snaps. It's like playing the dozens, talking about each other's mama and stuff like that. Yeah. And I was making mine rhyme when I was saying it. And I didn't even realize what I was doing until they were like, "Oh, look at him, he's rapping." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess I am." And I didn't really start taking it seriously till years later when I was in my late teens, early 20s. But I remember rapping back when I was second grade.
You remember who was the first rapper you saw that said, "Yo, this is kind of fly, so I think I'm gonna try this out"?
I think that, let me think about that. I think that the one that really stuck out for me, and a lot of people probably, was Run DMC. Because of the superstar quality of everything, and they were just larger than life, and it was just like they just brought it to a whole nother level. So I would probably say Run DMC.
You know what's crazy? I got a poem. I used to know this poem by heart, and I lost the damn paper, but I can't remember a good speech with it. But I remember me making a reference to Run DMC, and I didn't know jack about hip hop because I grew up in a Latin community, so all I heard was music. So I remember seeing Run DMC vividly. It was the Walk This Way video. It was dope as hell. Didn't know what the hell they were saying, but I was like, this is not okay. This is not, I'm being the camera. This is not Spanish music. It's fly. Right. You don't know what the hell they're saying. The gist of it is dope, but it was kind of crazy because back in those days you couldn't get easy access to hip hop like that. You either had to catch it really, really late, like damn near the third shift out of the hour, 1 o'clock in the morning, or if you get lucky, like Run DMC had that kind of juice that you could catch them on prime time.
Yeah.
It was the first to do it, so you always could catch them. But we didn't know what to call it. I didn't know what to call it. I just called it black music. Música de los negros. So it was like black music. I don't know what they're saying, but it's black music. Yeah. And going to them, I saw that different translations. So through them, I learned who was KRS-One. I knew who was Rakim. I knew who was EPMD. I knew who was Hammer. I knew who was NWA, Ice-T, and it just became like a ladder of different artists.
Right.
I was learning also the gist of them. So, I want to get to one of your joints. and I want to get to it's a plethora here. I want to go to the am I saying this right? The the Vermont, the Reverend,
The Revenant, yeah.
Revenant, yeah, the Revenant. Okay, I want to get to that one.
Mm,
Can we get to that one?
yeah, yeah,
I bet no doubt, man. Cuban Mike, out chilling in Indiana. We're doing the Indiana style, baby, with Mrkbh.
yeah,
Check this
yeah.
joint out for a second. I'll be back. Give me 5. Yeah, so we'll get to the join, and then afterwards we'll continue on with the next question, whatever. We want to play like 3 or 4 joints from
Okay.
everything you done gave me.
I want to tell you, man, I appreciate this, man.
Yo, no doubt, man. No doubt, no doubt.
Mm.
I got you. Cheer. What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Cuban Mic. I'm here with Mrkbh in the building. We just get to know the brother right here, man. You know, get a little bit of history of his of his history. I mean, not the history, a little bit. I'm getting into know to the history on how he got into the game, and you know him just being a spitter. So, like I was telling you earlier on, man, I don't know diddly about Indiana. So, what's like the hip hop scene out there?
Well, see, it's a two-part thing because it's not just that it's Indiana, which Indiana is not really well known for cultural impact besides those things you mentioned earlier, like as far as the Jacksons and the Pacers. It's basketball to basketball state.
Yeah,
And also Freddie Gibbs is a newer person to emerge out of that, but he more claims Cali, but he's from, from Indiana, definitely in reps Indiana.
yeah,
But I'm also from a small town in Indiana, so that's a double whammy right there. So I'm from a small college town, born and raised. I used to, bounce around the state and throughout the Midwest when I actually started really, really doing a lot of music.
yeah,
And out here was like me and the people that I rode with. We were watching BET and MTV, on TV Raps and Rap City and stuff like that, and we were trying to the people that I associated with, what was different about us is we weren't so much trying to emulate what we were watching. In a way, we were because we were trying to rap,
mm-hmm.
but we wanted to sound different because we adhered to that code that used to be sacred, which is no biting. So we wanted to make sure we had an original appeal and presence when it came to it. So
Yeah.
we would use that as like the basis, and we would try to build off of that. And in terms of that, we were some of the founding people, like some of the main people in our small town that actually brought like hip hop here, And it's not really a hip hop city. I mean, it's not really a hip hop state. There's a lot more going on now than there used to be then. In places like Indianapolis and Fort Wayne and stuff like that. I've lost touch with the scenes up there, but we used to travel all over the state and do a lot of shows. I've kind of not been doing a lot of performances in the last few years. I used to perform with a live band for like 5, 6 years. We went to Michigan, we went to Illinois. I performed in New York before. I used to be in Zulu Nation. I was a chapter leader in Zulu Nation. There was two,
Oh, really?
yeah, there was two Zulu Nation chapters here, and I was one of the chapter leaders. And after all that scandal jumped off some years ago, I kind of shut the chapter down. But yeah, I actually made Killer Priest. Killer Priest is a friend of mine. I made him an honorary member of our Zulu chapter back in the day, some years ago. It was probably like 2015, 2016, something like that.
Okay, all right, bad. That's what's up. Um, you know what's crazy, man? I don't. I know, like I said, I don't know anything about Indiana, but and you didn't say that it's not much of a hip hop state or what case may be. Me being from Massachusetts, I hate the fact because I think every state has a hip hop scene. It's just some are bigger than others, i.e., New York, California, Atlanta,
Right. Yeah.
Houston, Florida. I think we all have a section. I mean, from Indiana, from Massachusetts. I mean, you could go to the sticks in Nebraska or North Dakota. I always feel as though there's a hip hop scene. It's
Yeah.
just like they don't know about it because we're not allowed like that. Because
Right.
out here we got a heavy hip hop scene out here. Now slowly but surely we got people coming up such as Joyner Lucas and Bia. I'm saying name right Bia, and we even had like underground legends such as Terminology and Crumb Snatcher and Rex. So I think every state has a section. It's
One of
just
my
like a treasure hunt. You gotta
favorite
find it.
one of my favorite MCs of all time comes from your state. That's Guru from
Oh,
Gangstar.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
But even with him, he got caught up with some shenanigans because he couldn't blow up within his city. He had to leave
Yeah, go to Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Yeah, he got to leave. But
Mm.
and unfortunately, I guess depending on what section you at or whatever it may, you gonna have to like leave if they don't have a large hip hop scene to
Right.
get noticed. So
See, that's the thing about me is I didn't really. I've been to New York like 5 times. I went to the Zulu anniversary. I met Cool Herc. I met Jazzy J. I met Psycho Les from the Beat Nuts, Red Alert, Artifacts. I actually did a show with the Artifacts in Ohio some years ago.
okay.
But yeah, we were out there touching base and doing a lot of. We were going. We knew some promoters that were like minded. So when the acts would come to town that were like right up our alley, so to speak, we would try to get an opening spot, and that's how we ended up building with a lot of artists that were underground, like your Bronze Nazareths and Bronze Nazareth from the Wiseman. Have you ever heard of them from Detroit, Michigan?
No.
They're like a Midwest Wu Tang affiliate group.
What they call
They
it?
say it again.
What's the name of the group?
Wiseman.
Wise Man.
Yeah, it's Bronze Nazareth is the main. He's like he's a producer and MC.
Okay.
And we were building with them. We met them in Indy because they did a show in Indy, and we ended up going to Detroit and building with them. I think that him and his brother are both originally from Grand Rapids. His brother's name is Kevlar 7. He's a really important person, and he's deceased now, but he was a good friend of mine. And that was like Bronze Nazareth has done songs with RZA, and he produced a track on the Birth of a Prince album by RZA. And so he's
Thank
official
you.
tissue.
Okay. All right. So I know him for his production. Okay.
Yeah,
It was ringing
yeah,
a bell, whatever. It was the production that the name. It sounds that's a very unique name.
yeah, yeah,
It's a very unique name. It's very five percenter-ish per
yeah,
se.
yeah,
Whatever
yeah,
the
no
case may be.
doubt.
So it was like, thank you. I know he did something with Wu Tang. All right.
Yeah, and then some other people we built with were like we'd always gravitate towards people when they came. I've done shows with Sadat X. I did a show with Sadat X in Ohio. Dale the Funky Homo Sapien.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got a vast air from Cannibal Ox. I mean, you name it. It's been a lot of underground, artifacts, like I said, and like I said, we were just trying to connect with people and be heard. And like you said before, like about like having to branch out and move away in order to blow up. I didn't ever really fully move away, but I'm just like I'm a nerd when it comes to hip hop, and I've just been building and making tracks ever since. I never really stopped. I mean, I take a break every now and then, but I just love the craft.
Yeah. Um. Speaking of which, you do have a joint for Sadat X,
No
correct?
doubt, no
Yeah.
doubt.
I'm gonna play the joint.
Okay,
I'm gonna play the joint.
Chief Cornerstone.
Beef Cornerstone. So we're gonna get to that joint right about now, and then afterwards we're gonna see how that track came about.
All right.
I bet we'll get to this joint here with the Dot X, Cuban Mic, Mrkbh, 102.9. Let's rock it out. All right, we back, we back, we back. Yo, we back in the building. Cuban Mic, Mrkbh, man. How was that joint came about, man?
The thing about Sadat X, man, Sadat X, I just reached out to him online, and a lot of these guys that are some of our hip hop heroes, they're like not really appreciated as much as they should. I don't think, and it's like I reach out to people for guest features. There's a few people I have on the list I want to do songs with, and I build with them. I break bread with artists,
Mhm.
and a lot of times the artists aren't really asking for too much if you approach them respectfully, and if you're on your P's and Q's. Sadat X, I mean, come on, Brand Nubian. I mean, he's connected to Jazzy J, which is, Jazzy J, that's who we get DITC by way of them. And
Of course.
Jazzy J was on the first release from Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? Him and what's her boy's name? It's yours, Tila Rock,
Rock.
First guy to say boom bap on a hip hop record. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
of course, of course, of course.
Because that's what I represent. I represent boom bap because I'm not trying to get away from hip hop because hip hop culture is what it is. But I'm like on some boom bap culture. That's what I rep because it's just like to me it's like a subset. It's a specific subgenre that is more a little bit more artistic and weird and you know graffiti oriented maybe or just lyrical or a little scientific or religious, however you want to put it, but it's just a different angle because I think hip hop is worldwide and global, but I think sometimes it might do the art form a disservice by lumping it all together, two things that are so distinctly different. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse, you know, because it is all hip hop really at the end of the day. But sometimes it's like you can find two artists within the realm of hip hop that are like day and night, you know, like
Yeah.
so distant from each other that you wouldn't even recognize that it was the same art form.
Mhm. Yeah. Somebody mentioned. I remember hearing an interview with EPMD. He said something about that. He said that there should be like a different category for like rappers, not just put them all in the box as hip hop. Like if you want your conscious,
Right.
there's sexual conscious rap. You want your gangster rap, got your gangster rap. You got your trap, got your trap. You want your party rap, and there'll be a section, just like rock has it. You got heavy metal,
Exactly.
alternative. You have rock and roll. You got whatever the case may be. So it is like a gift and a curse because we are global, but there are different sections within hip hop,
No
and
doubt.
that'd be one thing. And I also do appreciate you do keep it very boom bap. So that's one of the things I appreciate. And
No doubt.
I like to call it traditional hip hop.
Yeah, yeah. No
And
doubt.
there's
Tradition.
very few that are keeping a format like that.
Hmm.
Um, at this moment, are you well before I continue on, how many projects you have in total?
How many projects do I have total?
Yeah, like albums.
I don't know. I probably have like, I don't know, maybe like 20 or something like that.
Jesus, you working hard,
Yeah.
bro.
I have I have different aliases. I used to go by a different name,
Yeah.
and I was part of a group at one point.
Hmm.
So I just put out whatever I'm feeling at the time, whatever I'm building on. Uh, I just keep it moving, man. You know, I try to build a lot and record a lot.
Yeah.
And like I said, I performed with a band for some years, and we put out an album. And then I performed. I had a partner, my guy Udi he's from Harlem,
All right.
and he is a Puerto Rican cat, and me and him got the building, and we did a whole project together that was critically acclaimed overseas. There's a couple people that really felt it overseas, and it was called Bedlam Brethren. That was the name of the group. The name of the album is Black Feather Messengers, and it's underground gem. I mean, I could send you some tracks from that too, but
Oh, please do, please, please.
yeah, it came out in like 2012, and it has Thurston How the Third is on there because my boy Udi grew up with Thurston How the Third. That's
How
like his
about how you
people.
found him? Jeez, I haven't heard that name in a while. Jeez.
Yeah, that's
Thursday
that
Howard
guy.
third.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
doing big things. Thurston How the Third is down in Orlando, building the Low Life chapter down there. He's doing big things.
Yeah, you
And
know what's funny? I haven't heard from him in a while, but last time I heard him, he did a podcast, and I didn't know he's very big on polo.
yeah, yeah,
But that's like this thing or whatever. So I guess
yeah.
out of the actual polo company got in contact with him to like represent their brand or whatever the case may be.
Which is really ironic considering the fact that the Low Lights was famous for doing the bum rush, running up in the stores and stealing all
Yeah.
the polo. You know what I'm saying? And now
uh,
they're getting the cosign from Ralph Lauren, you know. But
but doing
that's the guy
proper.
though. He's official.
That's hip hop in full circle. But at the same
Hell
time,
yeah.
Dapper Dan, like they banned all his stuff because he was pretty much jacking their style. Then years later, he became the ambassador for Gucci.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So
Crazy.
that's hip hop for you. But you know what that tells you? No matter what, that whatever you could do to us, we still move the culture.
No doubt.
Legally or illegally, they have to come to us to see what's popping out here.
No doubt. Yeah.
That's whatever the case would be, man. So, let me get to one of your other joints right now, man. Can we go with Gladiators featuring
Yeah.
Killer?
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
All right, check it out, man. We're gonna go with Gladiator, Mrkbh, Killer Priest, 102.8. G, we are back. Yo, listen, Mrkbh, I'm gonna tell you one thing. You know, one thing I do appreciate when you send me your music.
What's that?
You always send me the clean version, and you don't give me this headache where I have to go and clean up everyone else's mess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I greatly appreciate that, but you make my life so much easier.
You know I'm hip. I used to have a radio show once upon a time. I still do right now. I actually have an online radio show, but
Oh, you gotta keep me posting, man. You gotta send me some stuff. I can hear you.
yeah, yeah. It's on the app. It's called Mind C Radio, and it's on Radio 3 Hive. It's based the actual station that I'm on. It's a digital thing. It's on the app, but it's based in Utah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So how that happened is one of the guys from the radio station somehow found me online, and he started playing my songs on one of his radio shows. And then he asked me, we had a discussion about, they had a slot open and wondered if I was, be interested in doing like a radio show. And I've got a little bit of radio experience. I had a radio show at a college in Richmond, Indiana here that we used to drive. It's about a 30-minute drive. We would drive, me and my cousin, and we used to play like, once again, we stick to the boom bap, we play a little Brother Ali, Talib Kweli, whatever, and yeah, so that's what it is.
You just gave me a perfect example. Somebody in Utah hurt you, and when you think of hip hop, you automatically do not think of Utah as being a state.
Utah.
Yeah, you don't automatically think of that being a state of having hip hop heads out there. But again, like I said, every state got a hip hop,
right?
got a
Yeah,
hip hop community
you're
out
right.
there, and everybody just networks. And
Yeah,
thank God for the internet because it makes life so much easier how to get in contact with people.
no doubt. Yeah.
So just from the conversation I'm having with you, I know that you and I shared the same like era of what kind of hip hop we appreciate.
Mhm.
How you feel about the era we have right now?
Okay. Uh, I think that there's a lot of different ways you can attack it.
Mhm.
You could you on one level you could say it's young men and women expressing their talent, so that's good to a certain degree.
Yeah,
Also, you could say that people are making money and feeding families, and that's a good thing. And then you could say, on the other hand, when you look at the content, mind you, there was a lot of brutal and vulgar content during the '90s as well.
yep,
But it just seems like it's so much, like it's drenched the culture so much, like with the TikTok culture and all that it's like a constant bombardment of like vulgarity and violence, to the point where if a person isn't capable of setting up the filters in their mind to be able to bypass all of that, it can cause some devastating effects to communities. I mean, the communities already have, there's devastating effects in the communities, poor communities as it is.
yeah,
But why pour gasoline on the fire?
yeah,
But I think that when it comes to, that's what's good about independent artists, and part of my job is being one of the few people in my area that represents what's traditional hip hop and hip hop culture and boom bap and all that. Is I feel like my job is to be, it's like a healing journey, because you got traumatized people out here and you're trying to show them that there's another way, that like you don't have to listen to or behave a way some the industry is telling you to act. And that's the thing is like there's a lot of followers, man. I mean, look at the nature of social media. It's all about followers. So it's like lemmings. They're all being led off a cliff, in some instances, because if you don't, a lot of the content is like straight up murderous and just sex oriented. But at the same time, there are talented, people always go to, it's just like when people have a conversation, they always say Biggie and Tupac. And then nowadays people say J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, there's a lot of unsung heroes out there, just like it was back in the '90s, that are still bringing and delivering, thoughtful music. And I think at the end of the day we'll be all right. But I do think that, as before, the industry always puts a higher focus on the fuckery. Am I allowed to cuss on here? Oh, sorry.
yeah, yeah. The radio station guy. Nah, after I just prayed you gave me clean music, man. You done kill me, man. You're killing me.
My fault, man.
Don't worry about it. We'll clean that up. Thank
All
God
right, cool.
for it. But yo, that's a dope answer.
Thanks.
I did a show. Not sure. I have a TV show, and there was a thing that I brought up that last year, for the first time in like 40 years, there was like no top 10 rap single on
Yeah, yeah,
Billboard, and because with the hip hop genre, you know, we 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 move the culture, we sell millions, we could compete with rock, country, and no matter what it is, I feel as though there's always something that wants to see it gone. And maybe that's my conspiracy thing kicking over there, because just because we had one off year, now they think like, no one's caring about hip hop or no one cares. I mean, just like you treat it like family, you might have your go to ups and downs, but the culture is still there and it's still relevant. Um, you have a lot of dope. I have a lot of dope artists that from the underground here in Boston, and people that try to get on the internet. You do got some young spitters. And just like in the 90s, we had whack artists too. So it's like you got dope artists, you got whack artists. I do believe to an extent it is getting watered down.
Hmm.
It is getting really watered down.
Yeah,
Again, I think more than ever, thanks to the internet, you could find dope music wherever you go at, and you
no
still
doubt.
got our traditional elder statesmen that's coming out with phenomenal music. And
Definitely,
because
yeah.
and the issue I have with our generation, we're still stuck. I'll give Nas an example. We're still holding on to Illmatic, not knowing that he dropped an incredible 6 album run with Hit Boy, and those
Yeah.
knock hard. That 6 album run that he did,
Hmm.
unbelievable. And even
Yeah.
with the Legend Has a series he did with Mobb Deep and De La Soul and Raekwon and Slick Rick and Ghost, and him and Premier.
It was
You
all
have
dope. I liked it all.
you have our elder statesmen still spitting. Like the clips came out, they got a Grammy. Common with Pete Rock. The LL Cool J album with Q-Tip.
Oh, that was, yeah. That's
That was
all of that
so
is dope.
that
All
album
that's,
was like LL Cool J had to give people a reminder who he was or who he is. I mean, even now with Quiet as Kept, the album with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, the Missionary album.
yeah.
Heard that. Phenomenal album. So I think as um as much as we go after the youngest, as we should, I
Yeah,
also
yeah.
think that we should support, the people that have been putting out the game and not to now hold on to like what they gave us, our classic albums. You know what I mean? Because they're still
Hmm.
coming out with great material. I just saw Mobb Deep and Raekwon. They came out here in Boston, and it was like they gave us our classics, but then they gave us the joints from the latest album, and they all knocked.
Yeah.
They all knocked.
I
So
think it's I mean, all those things you mentioned about these artists, these elder statesmen of the culture, like stepping up, and I mean, a perfect example is Method Man. Like Method Man, if you compare Method Man today to Method Man on his first album, he's gotten better with age. Like he's as good as he's ever been lyrically.
hungry.
And that's how it's supposed to be. You're
Yeah.
supposed to get better with age. So I never really got the ageism thing. It's like when it comes to hip hop, it's like I understand in sports, you know, a hot flame burns out quick. You know what I'm saying? And you can get injuries and you retire, but you have more to say the older you get. So why would you not want to? It's like it would like being like, oh man, you still painting? You're like 50. You still painting? You still picking up a paintbrush and painting? Well, why can't I paint? It sounds silly, doesn't it? I mean,
Of course.
painting should be for everybody of every age.
Yeah. I mean, I just saw a video a couple of days ago, which was disrespectful. Like, he had these kids talking about how Jay-Z's washed, no one listens to him, he's old, and this and the third. Mind you, he just sold out Yankee Stadium for 3 days in a row.
Yeah, yeah,
None of you youngest is doing this.
yeah. Though the older acts are like that Wu-Tang, the Final Chamber tour,
Sold
and
out
a
all
lot
over.
of those younger acts, they've been having to cancel. I forget who it was to cancel. I think it was Post Malone and Jelly Roll. They had to cancel their tour, and I think some of the younger acts, there was two or three of them that had to cancel tours because of low ticket sales. But yet you got these so-called washed artists that are selling out, stadiums and
Yeah.
you know,
Arenas easily.
yeah,
Sold out
yeah,
easily. So, yeah, man. I want to get to your next joint here, man. Can we get to Sonny Carson?
yeah, yeah, no doubt.
Chop Austin? All right, man. Let's rock it out, man. Cuban Mic 102.9 tape deck. Point nine take that. Cuban Mike, Mrkbh, what's going on, partner?
Chilling, man.
Yeah,
Maintaining.
yes, we was talking behind the scenes, and you told me what I wanted to know, like what was the Wu-Tang connection?
Oh yeah, that song that joint I did, Killer Priest, Gladiators.
Yeah, how that came about?
Uh Killer Priest of used to be Sons of Man, and I've done multiple shows with him. He came to Indiana. He actually, I just talked to him. He's trying to come back and do some more shows
Mhm.
since it's warming up. But there's a producer named Falling Down. He's from New York, and he did some tracks with Kill Army. The main producer of Kill Army is Fort Disciple.
Ah,
And by
yeah,
the way, Fort Disciple mixed this song for me. It's called Mausoleum. And
dope.
on that song, I have Fru Quan, of Gravediggers, also of Stetsasonic. So I have a song with Fruit
Oh,
Quan, and
okay.
it's self-produced. I produced it, but it was mixed by Fourth Disciple.
Dope.
Yeah, and so Fourth Disciple had a protege named Falling Down. And Falling Down produced a track or two on Kill Army's, I think, third album. And he ended up connecting with me, and we did 3 whole EPs together. But I was going by a different name back then. I was going by Mrkbh. And so I did a whole three series of 3 EPs with Falling Down, and Falling Down got me a song with Inspect the Deck called, and I did it called Burn It Down.
Dope.
And yeah, so and Deck to me is like, he's a super dope artist, lyricist. And yeah, so I've done tracks with I did a project that had Papa Wu on it as well.
Uh,
And let's see, I've done songs with Killer Priest, Inspector Deck, Papa Wu, Beretta 9, also known as Kinetic 9 of Kill Army. I did a song with him. And I'm probably forgetting a few people, but I've done shows with Wu-Tang. So I mean there's a Wu-Tang connection in there. I'm just saying in the history of me.
yeah.
I already mentioned Bronze Nazareth and stuff, but there's a whole different lane of Wu-Tang connections on, like me doing songs and shows with Wu-Tang members. So I mean, I touched that angle too. As far as I like to say that I'm pretty well-rounded culturally when you look at the sphere of traditional hip hop. As far as when you look at the boom bap aspect and the Zulu Nation and Wu-Tang and et cetera, et cetera.
Uh,
That's where it all comes from. That's where
yeah.
my whole my expression is based in, because I believe in the culture, and the thing that grabbed me when I started getting older, young teen to mid teen to late teens to 20s, I started learning when I was listening. I used to listen to gangster rap too, just like everybody else, because it was popular. NWA was more militant to me when they said "F the police" or whatever. That was more like a militant statement to me. But some people say the gangster rap, ruin rap, or whatever. But I was listening to all of that. But I started noticing when I was in high school, I was like, you know what? It seems like this stuff coming from the East. A lot of the artists coming from the East were more like conscious, and they had, even if they were gangster, they had a conscious base.
Yeah.
And the stuff from the West was just like, it didn't really, a lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it didn't have that conscious base. So I would gravitate more towards the East.
Yeah.
Plus, early on, the stuff I was listening to, like I said before, Run DC and all that, that was from the East. So some flack that I've caught over the years has been that I sound East Coast, and I'm from Indiana, and in the Midwest, we have a distinct sound. Eminem doesn't really get knocked for not sounding like a traditional Midwest artist. But you got Bone Thugs and Harmony, they're from Cleveland, Ohio. That's Midwest. You got Twista, he's from Chicago. That's Midwest. And then you got like Kanye, he's from, you know, Chicago as well. And then Michigan, you got Eminem and a few other people, but
Yeah, Slum Village and all them.
yeah, Slum Village, no doubt. But I see they go against the grain a little bit too. Dilla,
Yeah.
that's what I would say is more my lane. Not to say I don't sound anything like Slum Village or Dilla, but I'm just saying it's like just being able to use your influences without sounding totally like your influences. And sometimes people, when they don't have anything, if you don't sound like anything they've heard before, they're going to compare you to the thing that they've seen that might sound like that.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of Wu-Tang comparisons.
Yeah.
And of course I leaned into it because I'd be like, okay, if you say it sound like Wu-Tang, I'm gonna do a song with Priest then.
But here's the thing, you might sound that, but you're not wax. That's the thing. I mean, at least
I
because Priest is
appreciate
something
it.
that dope. So
I appreciate it. But
compared
see,
to
that's
somebody
but
else, just take it for with the good with the bad. And it's hold on a second. It's what the heck? So it's one of those things that you flow on whoever inspires you. And you know what's funny? You mentioned the Midwest, but I caught on real quick like the Midwest flow, especially Detroit, because Detroit had a very distinct flow. The way they rap and throw the words on you, because it's like an on beat, off beat kind of flow, whatever the case may be. Like they rhyme on, and they do it on purpose just to catch the beat or whatever. And I could catch a distinct flow. Especially from the cats from that area. I've started to catch the Chicago flow, you know what I mean? Because I listened to Common and Lupe Fiasco also.
mm-hmm.
The Midwest, they're also known for that fast tongue twister flow, i.e., Bone Thugs and Twister. So y'all are very known for the fast flow rap
Yeah.
that became very prominent, especially like in the late '90s. So
I could do that too. I could do the fast raps. I've done a few of them. I just it's not really my it's in my my wheelhouse as far as rapping fast like that because we grew up around it.
yeah,
And also the more gangsterish angle is also, you know, I'm capable of doing that too. But my thing is like I just fell in my lane where I felt most comfortable, you know, and not to say that I don't like to push the envelope because I do sometimes, you know, but it's like at the same time I'm a traditional MC. I came up during a certain era, and a lot of times if you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you try to be too outside of your wheelhouse, then people are gonna be, oh, you trying to sound like this or trying to sound like that. So
yeah.
I just do me. That's the only way. That's the best way to make it happen.
I know that's all you could do. Uh,
Yeah.
so so with the well, you have a lengthy catalog of work. If if people want to get like Mrkbh as an artist, like what would be like your album to be like, you know what? To get to know me, this the album got to go to like you know like which one is your baby? Like Nas has his Illmatic and Jay got his Reasonable Doubt.
I mean, I have. That's a really good question. I have one. If I said one album, let me think about that for a second. I really think that this is going to really sound like it might sound like off the wall, but I would probably say like the last one that I just released because I think I'm doing some of my best work now, and I feel comfortable now who I'm working with, my producer, because I do self-produced projects
Yeah.
as well. I can produce as well, but I connected with this cat named Rico James. He's from Vermont, and he works with a label called Man Bites Dog Records out in Virginia. And they've actually put out albums by people like Killer Priest, Rock Marciano. Rock Marciano was actually their A&R briefly for the label,
Okay.
and then who else they work with like Vast Air. And but anyway, Rico James he did a compilation. Let me rewind. Okay, so there's a producer. Man Bites Dog Records is co-founder is a guy named Count Fifth. Count Fifth is a producer. Count Fifth has worked. He produced a song. I don't know if you've heard a song by Killer Priest and Nas together. It's called
Yes. Yeah. The only song they did together. Yes. Yes.
Gun for Gun.
Yes.
So that song is produced by Count Fifth.
Okay.
So Count Fifth he did a whole album with Killer Priest called the 7 Day Theory. So Count Fifth reached out to me one day and he was like, "Yo, I want you to be on my. I'm doing a production album. I didn't know him from a can of paint, mind you. He knew me through Kevlar and Bronze. He heard of me through them because I was building with them. So he's like, okay, I want to get you on the track on my compilation album. And I was like, of course, I'll do that. So I got on there. Then after that, the label co-owner hit me up and was like, we have another producer that wants to work with you and get you on his compilation album. His name's Rico James. So me and Rico James had enough chemistry. That's the cat that's been producing some of the later tracks that I've sent you, like The Revenant and Chief Cornerstone and stuff like that. So I would say, back to your question, I wasn't trying to get away from the question. I've done 3 Righteous Gemstones albums. Righteous Gemstones 1, 2, and 3, and the third one is the one I just dropped. And to me, I'm happy with that one, inside and out. I like it a lot. It's only 5 songs. It's an EP, but I would say that's my go-to if somebody wants to know about Mrkbh.
All right.
Now, if you want to know about Mrk Versus, which is my old name and the old persona or whatever, I would probably refer somebody to an album called Furious Euphoria.
Okay. Bet. I'm
Yeah.
definitely check that out. I'm definitely gonna check that out. So I wanna switch gears for a second because I wanna have fun hip hop talk, man. Um,
Mm-hmm.
top 5 MCs of all time.
Top 5 MCs. Well, I mean that could be right now, back then, whenever. I would say, most people they say, Biggie, Tupac, Nas, and I say Wise Intelligent from Poor Righteous Teachers,
Okay, all right. That's where we're going now.
Brother J from X Clan,
Okay.
Cool G Rap,
All right.
Guru from Gangstar.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Number five.
Number five. All time, all time. Let me think. I don't know. That'd be a tough one for that fifth position. I don't know.
We'll,
There's so many.
we'll leave a question mark on that one. You know what's crazy? So I want to go back. So I'll tell you a quick story about myself. Like when I was in the gist of learning how to speak English, like I went to hip hop, and then
Mm,
I had a neighbor of mine who I forgot, she broke up with her boyfriend or somebody else. Some weird thing happened, but she ended up having these tapes,
hmm
and I couldn't read the thing because like the all the things were scratched out. So it was like a tape, and it was a whole bunch of rap songs. And she was like, "Give this to your son." So he liked the black music stuff. Mind we're all Spanish people, so we don't know what to call it yet. So give him the black music. Música lo moreno. I'm going through it, and it was three tapes. It was Brand Nubian, Poor Righteous Teacher, and Vanilla Ice. Don't know how the hell he got there, but the homeboy had a Vanilla Ice tape.
That's an odd combination,
Very
man.
odd combination. I took it all as one in a box, and then you know, I ended up knowing the whole album, and then like years later, like once I knew what the hell they were talking about, because basically those two albums are like, if you want, it can't get no more 5% than Brand Nubian's first album, Proof Righteous Season. That is 5% conversation to the fullest.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then when I'm back and heard it, I'm like, oh, this is a whole conversation I couldn't relate it to a damn thing we're talking about.
yeah.
All I knew that the white man was the devil, and somehow Vanilla Ice snuck into that damn package.
Man, I built with I studied 5% teaching since I was like a teenager,
Yeah,
and I dug for that. I mean, I was inspired through rap lyrics, and I went and I ended up connecting with real actual official 5%ers that were here in Indiana, and they are here in Indiana, and they're all over the country. But yeah, I built with the gods. There's some 5%er MCs I had on some of my projects. I've got I consider myself 5% for a long time, but the thing is, I wouldn't say that I'm not a 5%er, but I'm not like there's some people that are really stringent, and it's like it's a full-time job, So if you're not on your lessons, I wouldn't disrespect that organization by saying that, that I'm one of them,
yeah,
First of all, they have something called Knowledge 120, and if you don't know all your lessons, then you're not official tissue. You gotta know all your lessons
yeah.
inside and out, memorize. So A Preem from Chicago, shout out A Preem. I had him on a joint called The Altar. That's on the album called The Messiah Complex. Him and actually Solomon Childs, one of Ghostface Killer's people.
Mhm.
They were on a joint I did called The Altar. And then it's a brother by the name of he's from Cuba actually. Or he's I don't think he was born in Cuba. He's Cuban, but I think he was born in Florida. And that's the Infinite Seven Mind. He's 5%.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, they deep out there, man. And that vein, like I had somebody tell me that, like basically it was A Preem, I think, told me that, the 5% represented the moral compass of hip hop at one point.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. But I got a great deal of respect for those brothers, and I think that combined with Zulu Nation formed a lot of black consciousness within the sphere of hip hop culture.
Cool, cool, man. So, what's up next for you, man? What do
I
you got?
just had old boy Rico James hit me up and say I got some more beats for you. I'm a working class poet, man. I'm just maintaining, surviving, and building on music. I try to expand my horizons. I'm gonna start working on for the summer. What I want to do is I want to start focusing on production. I want to stock up over the next few months and build up, a few hundred beats or whatever that I can start, because I actually was getting my beats out there to where I was producing for some underground guys that it surprised me, and I was excited to be producing for them. Like Solomon Childs, I produced a few songs for him. I produced a joint for Maya Lansky from Wu Syndicate,
Okay.
and actually Jay Royale is on that song. It's called I can't think of the name of the song. Man, I have to send it to you, but I produced it. It's called Stairwell. That's what it's called.
All right.
And that's by Maya Lansky from Wu Syndicate featuring Jay Royale. And I was sending my beats out to everybody, and I had some people reject them and some people accept them, and that's how the game goes. But yeah, that's what I'm focusing on, that. And I'm working with this cat from China named Grime Man. We're doing an EP together. And that's what I do. I do little bite-sized EPs right now. I used to be on the albums, putting in work 12, 13, 14, 20 songs. Now I'm just too old for that, man. I'm gonna throw you a little five.
Yeah. Man.
Five here, five there.
Sometimes
Yeah.
we can't do it all. Sometimes we got to stay in
Yeah.
our lane right here and just, can take it easy.
Yeah,
Get
man.
real,
It's like just getting, to me, it's easier because I think over time people in general have their attention span has decreased.
Mhm.
So it's like by the time when I see people like Flea Lord, one year I think he put out like a EP every month for 12 months.
Yeah.
So it's like the rate at which people are putting out music. I try to tell some of the older guys that I mentioned earlier in the interview that I came up with, if
Mhm.
they want to get back into the game or whatever, I'm like, you're gonna have to function at a high level, man. Like, because you're competing against people that will drop a song every week for the
Yeah.
whole year.
Look, I gotta give a
You know
shout
what
to
I'm
my man
saying?
Technology Me. Coming out with a 6 years project coming out on Friday. 6 years project, him and Royal Flush. And
Who is
that
it?
terminology.
Terminology? Oh yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah, that's my guy
And
right there.
Royal Flush, yeah, he's dope too. That's the man right there.
Yeah, they got an album coming out this Friday.
Dope.
And that man's working the 60 projects already. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, can you just give me a second to enjoy the last one you came out with 15 minutes ago, kid? You're killing me here.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Royal Flush is I remember that joint he had iced out medallions with Nori on the hook back in the
yeah,
day. Iced out medallions. Yeah, that was the joint.
yeah. Yeah, man. So Mrkbh, man, thanks for coming through the tape deck, man. I also gotta give you, I gotta give you, I gotta say thank you because you're the second person that actually, you know, put a drop on my show, and I normally don't have to
Oh,
put a drop. You're like the
yeah,
third
yeah.
person that does that for me, man. So good looking out on that.
Oh, no problem, man. I greatly appreciate the opportunity to build with you, man. And I had a good time, and I'd like to do it again if possible, man. If I come up when I come out with some new stuff,
Yeah, man, and see if we try to come to Boston or something, man. See if we try to get a gig up here. And,
I would love to, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been talking to my drummer. I have a live drummer, and we're trying to put together a set
mhm.
and get some things together. And I really would like to travel because now the nature of my work is I have full weeks off at a time. I got an alternating schedule, so I got a lot of time, so I will be able to travel now. I got invited to come down to Atlanta to a radio station and build, but I definitely would be interested in that and learning about the Boston scene because, like I said, I mean Ed OG, that's
Yeah,
another one.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, please try to make it happen, man. And this will not be the last time I catch you on the tape. Then, man, anything you got through, any project, let me throw, man. Gotcha.
I greatly appreciate it, bro.
Hope you the tape deck, yo. So you know what it is, man. It's your boy Cuban Mic. Listening at the tape deck. You catch me every Friday from 6 to 7. I'll catch you here next time. Same tape deck time, same tape deck channel. I am out of here. Peace.
Peace.